As someone that grew up on Nikes and Jordans, the past few years of Nike basketball, it's been not too exciting. A lot of the shoes look very similar, and I get it. Once you figure out an optimal formula for performance, it is still basketball overall. They do need to prioritize performance. You kind of just rinse and repeat, change things up here and there, slight modifications, but none of them really excite me that much. The Sabrina ones I think were pretty nice, but again, it looks a lot like others. Now Adidas basketball on the other hand, I did not like Adidas basketball shoes growing up. The design language just never really clicked with me. I think the T-Max were pretty nice. Those were very different looking. The D-Rose I got just because I loved Derrick Rose. I didn't really actually love the look of those shoes. And that's about it. But recently, Anthony Edwards, one of the most exciting young players in the NBA, I think has the most exciting basketball shoe right now in the NBA. Adidas AE1, Best of Adi, or Stormtrooper. Now this shoe is dropping for $120 in the United States. Now first impressions, I think this is the best looking signature basketball shoe right now. It's very different, very futuristic, but honestly, I think you can pull this off casually. I have worn it around the house casually and I think it works. I really do. Especially with the aesthetic of shoes nowadays. It looks nice on the court as well, but yeah, off the court, I think it's good. And this colorway is really nice as well. You can't really go wrong with the black and white. Not too sure how I feel about the neon lime color. It's kind of got like a glow-in-the-dark effect, but kind of prefer if they just went super simple, just really black and white. Just go true Stormtrooper if you're going for that look. Overall, first impression, very nice shoe. And the materials on this very, very unique upper sole, the overlays, it is this TPU material, very, very unique. So if you run your hands over it, kind of feels like rubber. And the ventilation, you see this honeycomb pattern. The ventilation is all through there, pretty well ventilated on that area of the shoe. And then on the mesh parts, it's pretty thin feeling mesh. It's not like the best materials, I don't think. Around the ankles, it's very thin, very flimsy. And because of the material setup, this shoe is more heavier towards the bottom. So the bottom half has most of the weight. This mesh, barely feel it at all. And then what's pretty interesting is that the toe box area comes in this like reflective material. And then this tongue has kind of like a split tongue design, but not really because it's stitched together. It's not like the Asics Gel Light 3. Those you can actually split the tongue. This one doesn't. But this tongue is pretty thin as well, but pretty flexible. Kind of reminds me of like neoprene tongues. And then you see Anthony Edwards logo at the top of the tongue in that neon lime green color. And on the booty of the shoe, very interesting as well. Neon green lime color for the Adidas 3 stripes. And then this heel counter. This you might think it's carbon fiber. It is not. It's made to look like carbon fiber. But there's actually two heel counters. So one, this outside, and then on the inside there's another one. So it's double plated. Would have preferred if it was genuine carbon fiber, but there you go. And you also see a heel tab on the booty of the shoe. I generally don't like heel tabs, but this one is like built kind of into the shoe. It doesn't stick out like the Jordan 6s or like the foam posits. So I don't mind this at all. I actually used it to get into the shoe. And again, I'll have more to say on sizing and comfort later, but this is a slender shoe. So you might have to use that heel tab if you're an old man like myself. And then in terms of the cushioning, it's very, very unique as well. On the outside, it's that same type of rubber TPU material encased, but the cushioning system uses Adidas's Boost as well as Light Strike, specifically Jet Boost. And Jet Boost uses smaller pellets in the foam, so essentially gives a more firmer feel and provides a little bit more support. And then on this forefoot area, it is Light Strike. So essentially what Adidas is going for is a very lightweight material, but also giving a lot of energy return. So imagine a player that's as explosive as Anthony Edwards. You really want as much like kinetic energy return as possible. And on the rubber outsole, this almost semi-translucent traction pattern. The traction on the shoe is very nice. And it's also very unique. It's not like flat, it's like a wavy, kind of leveled kind of traction. Now granted, I only pretty much play indoors at a gym that's very well maintained, so you barely see any dust here. So I couldn't really test the traction out on like a more dirtier gym, but at least where I tried this shoe on, yeah, very, very good traction. I don't think it's going to be very good for outdoors. The grooves are pretty deep, so dust tends to get easily trapped in there, and the rubber is pretty soft. So I would just use this shoe for indoor use. And this shoe also has an X plate, and that essentially increases the torsional rigidity of the shoe, also improves that kind of bounce back action. Really, really like tech specs of the shoe. And on the insole, you'll see the words Anthony Edwards, model number 1, established Georgia 2001. Then the words don't follow the wave. I'm getting old. Anyone born after 2000, I'm like, you're not actually real. You're just a fake person. You're not real. This shoe does not come with any extra laces. I think white laces will look pretty cool. Maybe even that neon line, but black laces, they work just as well. Box of the shoe, nearly all black box with Anthony Edwards logo on the middle. And then on the side, you'll see the exact same phrase on the insole. Anthony Edwards, established Georgia, 2001. Don't follow the wave. And it also is a pull-out box. Very cool. Very nice. Now moving on to sizing and comfort, I am a wide footer. So for this shoe, I actually went up half a size. I've never worn this shoe before, but just looking at it, it is a very slender silhouette. So I was trying to be more safe than sorry. And actually I found this shoe pretty hard to actually put my feet in, but it's actually not as slender as I thought judging from images. It is a pretty long shoe, so I went up half a size. There is a bit of wiggle room in the toe area, so I don't love that, especially if you're playing in the shoe, you really want a snug fit. So if you do have wide feet, I could recommend still going true to size. Just break it in a bit if it feels a little too snug at the beginning. If there is a bit too much room and you went up half a size, maybe just double up on socks, wear thicker socks. And for non-wide footers, you could get away with going down half a size or sticking true to size. Now this shoe is actually not as light as I imagined it to be. A lot of modern day shoes now are super light. But for me, actually I prefer some weight to my shoes. I don't know if it's like a placebo thing in my head. When I play in a shoe that's like super light, I feel like more of the stress and strain go onto my already defunctioning knees. Like I don't know why. When I feel more weight to the shoe, I feel like, oh, I feel like mentally in my mind, more of that burden when I'm pushing off, when I'm running, is placed onto the shoe. It's completely mental. It doesn't really make any sense, but that's just me. I do prefer a bit of weight to my shoes when I'm hooping. And in terms of the overall stability of the shoe, really locks your feet in place. I felt very secure in the shoe. The TPU casing really adds more to the stability and firmness. So when you're like hard stopping, you don't feel like your feet's sliding away. My one biggest gripe is just around the ankle. There's pretty much no like protection there. But if you like low cut basketball shoes, which a lot of people do prefer now, yeah, it's not much different. There's something there. But this is just very flimsy, very flimsy. In terms of durability, I'm not quite sure how well this will do over time. The TPU material, yeah, might look pretty rough after a few hours on the shoe. In terms of overall performance, especially at this price, this is one of the best. Might be the best right now. Now, usually for most shoes, because the shoes I review are mostly like casual retro shoes, I give it a sole score. I don't think it makes too much sense for a performance-driven shoe. The metrics don't quite translate as well. And I don't really review a ton of performance-driven shoes, so not giving this shoe a sole score. But overall, I hope you can tell, I really think this is a great basketball shoe. Really good. I think the addition of the AE1 is great. I really was starting to feel very bored from NBA signature shoes recently. That's when I first saw images of the shoe, it really piqued my excitement. And I'm glad that they didn't disappoint in hand, on feet, on the court. So that's it. Thanks for watching. Sole Inclined. Let me know what you think of the Adidas AE1 Stormtrooper. Like, subscribe, comment, all the good stuff. And remember, tomorrow may never come, so wear your shoes.